guys, I share coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Hopefully it finds you all doing well. If not, send some positive vibes, some love your way today, especially if you need it out there today. We're going to share 5 things that Plarium doesn't want you to know.
What? What are you? I don't have one of those.
Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that Plarium doesn't want us to know? It sounds a little maybe convoluted, maybe a little bit clickbaity, but the truth is this is stuff that you would never know by just looking at anything that exists inside the game. This stuff that, other people smarter than me had to figure out throughout the years. That way, we do know them. I made a video just similar to this one a few months ago, and you guys really enjoyed it. So here are 5 more things that you wouldn't know just from playing the game, especially for new players. Heck, even some seasoned vets might not know what I'm about to tell you. So listen up and enjoy the video. Let's start with the brand new champion Rtek. You know what? I mentioned this in a video on this champion, right? At the time of this recording is new at least. And a lot of you guys in the comments were like, whoa, I never knew that. How would you, right? It's so weird that they don't have any easy to digest FAQ somewhere breaking this stuff down.
I covered it for a reason.
Rtek has this Dogs of War ability. He's instantly activating HP burns, 100% chance of placing decreased attack, and then he has 100% chance when booked to placing an HP burn. But if you look at his A1, he has a 45% chance to extend the duration of HP burn debuffs on each target by 1 turn. So whether we're extending debuffs, whether we're stealing buffs, anything that we're doing to an enemy essentially, right? It will work with the Sniper Mastery, okay? I'll show you the Sniper Mastery in just a moment here, but I want to tell you how to know. How can you tell if Sniper will matter on whatever debuff or whatever it is you're trying to do? How can you tell? Because on a champion like Rtek, right, there's no reason to get the Sniper Mastery at all if it's not going to work with the A1, because he already has a 100% chance if you're booking him on the A2 and the A3 to do his thing, right? 105% is not going to matter. But will Sniper bring this from a 35 to a 40, or when booked, a 45 to a 50? The answer is yes. And the how you can tell on any champion is just to look down here in the book section. If there is an ability like this, right, extend the duration, for example, and it says buff, debuff, chance plus 5%, that means it's counted as a debuff. So extending durations counts as a debuff. A lot of people think mistakenly that you need to have this, the decrease attack, for it to count as a debuff. That, that logo and that icon there. No, you have to look at this. The level 3 and the level 5 increase the chance by 5%. That means Sniper will work on those champions, and that's quite important. Let me just go ahead and show you the Sniper Mastery. I think most of you probably know what it is, but Sniper is going to increase the chances of placing a debuff from skills or artifacts by 5%. It's not very intuitive, is it? Because you're not placing a debuff, you're extending a debuff. Doesn't matter. This, like so many other things in this game, it's coded differently than it reads.
Well, I could tell you, but if you're a ding-dong, ding-a-ding-a-ding-wad, hut 1, hut 2, I need a Charleston chew.
Number 2. Oh, it's the stun set. There's so much misinformation out there, because I remember when I was trying to research this for the first time, you can read, it's kind of one of those things, right, with information nowadays in the world, right? If you can find an answer that suits what you think, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's right or wrong, that's irrelevant. Anyway, we talk about this all the time with Mighty Uko, but it applies to so many champions. What am I doing trying to search through my own champion collection here? It's easier just to go to these champions. But Mighty Uko, for example, right? Uko's Fury. Or do you have 1 shot at landing a stun or 2 shots at landing a stun with this ability? Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit, and I say stun, same thing with provoke, same thing with toxic. How many shots do we have at landing a debuff from an artifact set, right? The answer is 2. How do we tell that it's 2? How do we know that it's a 1 or a 2? Well, it has to do with the number of hits and the number of effects on each ability.
I just have some questions.
Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has blah, blah, blah. If it stopped there, you would have 1 chance at a stun or a provoke. But we have another effect. Places a block buffs or a decrease attack. This one, it's kind of tricky. It's kind of, wait a second. 2 hits, each hit, 1 stun or 1 provoke. but another effect, 2. So as long as you have 2 hits and 2 effects, you get 2 chances at landing debuffs. Let me show you a couple other champions, and I think maybe through repetition, you know, in terms of examples, it will be more intuitive to you guys. Check out my man, Barath the Blood-Soaked, for example, right? He has no AoEs, but attacks one enemy 2 times. First hit does something, second hit does something. 2 chances at a stun, 2 chances at a toxic, 2 chances at a provoke, right? Attacks one enemy 2 times. First hit does something, second hit does something. 2 shots. Same thing with the A3 on all of his abilities. Let me give you another example here, guys. We have one of my faves, Bivald of the Thorn. His A2 attacks all enemies 2 times. First hit does something, provoke. Second hit does something, leech. So there we go. Again, 2 shots at placing a provoke, which is really important on one of the better provokers out there for Hydra Clan boss in the game. So now you guys get my point. That's how to tell not just the number of hits. If it's AoE times 2, but nothing else is happening, that's not enough. It needs to have 2 effects as well, right? 2 hits, 2 effects, 2 chances.
So you're familiar with 2 sins. How about a third?
All right, number 3, guys, is going to be, and this one, there's another one. All the reasons that rotation matters. Let's start with the more obvious, but maybe not to some players, especially new players. Inquisitor Shamil, one of the essential, one of the fundamental champions inside the game in terms of Hydra Clan boss, mitigating that true fear, right? So let's fast forward to the end here. This skill will instantly remove fear, true fear, and fill allies' turn meter, the allies' turn meter by 15%. The ally whose turn meter is filled is going to be the ally in the number 1 spot of the rotation. Really important. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. It doesn't say that. It just says the ally. It seems like it's everybody. No, no, no. It's just the ally in the first spot in the rotation. So if I go to my Hydra Clan boss, for example, and I have a whole video on all the ways that rotation matters, etc., etc. But this, if Inquisitor Shamil was on this team, it would be feeding Nekmo Thar, right? Which is actually great because he's kind of like the motor of the team. But you have to think about this. If I was going to run Inquisitor Shamil with Geomancer, and I wanted Geomancer to just keep using his A3 to apply HP burns and tons of damage on that reflect, then I'd want Geomancer in the lead as opposed to somebody else on the team, right? If I wanted a lockdown provoke champion, like maybe Bivald of the Thorn in a provoke set, maybe I'd want him in the lead. I'll use that HP aura, and I'll keep feeding him that turn meter with Inquisitor Shamil. But that's not all, guys. The rotation matters so much in so many different ways. I'm going to give you a couple other ways, again, that you really probably would not know just from in the game that rotation matters. So, in terms of the arena, right? Let's say we wanted to use Kyoku, who's just such an amazing tank of a champion, right? Well, look at these passives, right? Now, I could talk about a billion champions, maybe a few dozen, that have passives like this. Every time this champion is hit with a critical hit, heals all allies by their max HP, and then places an increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. So when an AoE attack comes into your team, we're actually not all hit at the same time. It looks like that in the animations, but that's not how it goes. Each of these champions will be hit in order of their positioning. Position 1, Kymar. Position 2, Position 3, Position 4, right? That's how it always goes. Position 1, 2, 3, 4. If there were 5 spots, it'd be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So we want Kyoku, ideally, not the last to go, because that means all these 3 champions are going to be hit without benefiting from the passive proc, the increased defense, because she's getting hit last. What about Krisk? He has debuffs on his passive, right? So we might want to put Krisk towards the beginning, because maybe we have retribution champions. Maybe we have counterattack, right? And we want them to be debuffed, decrease defense, or decrease attack. Maybe we just want to go ahead and land those debuffs before they attack the rest of our team, right? So it's really important that we have Kyoku or Seeker. There's, again, so many champions. Sandlash Survivor. Champions with powerful passives. We want to get them, if not in the aura lead, in an early position. That way we can take advantage of those passives on those nukes. You know, Think about it, right? It also matters with so many other things. Ally protect. It matters with revivals, for example. Okay, so I set up this double reviver team, right? We have 2 single target revivers on the team. Let's just say that we have Elva in Stone Skin, right? And let's just say that Ethos nukes the hell out of me and kills the entire team, right? Except for Elva because she's in Stone Skin. Well, what do I want to have happen, right? I want to revive Sify, and then she can revive somebody else and kind of keep the team, you know, pick everybody else back up, right? But the revive is going to work in rotation as well, right? So if I have it on auto, we're going to revive Jetney instead of Sify. We don't want that. So we need Sify to be positioned, or we need to at least position our team thinking about, okay, what order do I want to revive here? Let's just say it's opposite. Let's just say that everybody dies except for Sify. She's going to revive Elva first because Elva's in the first position. So there we go, guys. Those are just some of the reasons that rotation matters, from Inquisitor to Revivers and much, much more, including passives and stuff like that. All right, number 4, guys, is going to be how damage really works. Now I'm gonna link a website from Hell Hades, really breaking down like granular level exactly how damage is multiplied, right? How it all works, the math behind it. But I found this post on the forums that I thought surmised it pretty dang good for this video. So here we go, guys. Check it out. If you have a crit rate of 100%, every hit will be critical, right? If your crit damage is 0, it will be a regular hit, but colored yellow, okay? Easy enough there. 100% crit rate, every hit will be critical. Got it. Crit damage 0, it's going to be the same amount, okay? Got it. If you have 50% crit damage, then the critical hit will be 50% stronger than a regular hit. Okay. But if you have 100% crit rate, there are no regular hits left, only crits or potential weak hits. Okay, we get that, we get that. Hence, if you build a total attack double compared to your base attack, that's equivalent to crit damage of 100%. So try to build them in the same ratio. People always ask, okay, do I need more attack or more crit damage? It's really about maintaining that ratio, right? And I think that Kurham, it's about a year old, this post. But it's really, I feel like it's the best layman's terms of what you want in terms of attack to crit damage, right? But there's more. This is the part that, again, it's really tough to find this info, I feel like. I got this wrong for so long because buffs behave differently. 50% attack buff is 50% increase to total damage, no matter what kind of hit. Only for attack-based champions, duh. And then crit damage, 30% crit damage buff is a 30% increase to total damage, not just an increase of the multiplier. I feel like even me, like I told you guys earlier, I've gotten so much things wrong. I feel like it takes like, how long, let me ask you, how long did it take you, viewer, till you felt like you had like a full grasp of the game? I feel like for me, it took me like 2 years. Just go look at my early content as evidence, you know? And you're still learning every day, you know? Because there's hidden info, right? For the longest time, I thought, okay, 30% crit damage. What does that even mean? Does that add 30 to my number of crit damage? Does that give me 30% extra damage overall? How does that work? But it turns out a crit damage buff, as you can see here, is way more valuable than most people might realize. Very, 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 even 15% extra crit damage is a big boy or girl buff to have on a champion. So there's a breakdown. Again, if you want more on how damage is calculated, go ahead and check out that article. It gets pretty nerdy in a good way, All right, guys, the last thing is probably the most basic, and this is nothing new. However, there is an update to share with you guys as well. If you want what's the easiest way in Raid Shadow Legends to get faster times on your dungeon runs, or anywhere else for that matter?
$15,000.
Man, I'm sure there's like a few viewers who don't know this, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, I just shaved a whole minute off my times, thank you so much. Most of you probably already know. However, it bears repeating, right? I'm playing on PC on Plarium Play right now, okay? Frame rate limit, put it at unlimited, right? and it's going to shave off so much time from your runs. Of course, if your PC can't handle it, I apologize. I wish I could buy everybody whose PC can't handle it a new PC, but then I would be beyond broke. You want to have this as high as humanly possible. It's going to impact your run times, and you know, who doesn't want faster run times? Now, the update to this information is they just added, at least I just noticed it, okay? They just added on mobile. I'm going to pull it up, and it's going to say my account got logged in from a different location, as if I need to prove it to you guys. And maybe an easier way next time would be a screenshot there, Ash. I mean, like, way to go, dude. Anyway, I'm going to pull it up anyway. They just added, at least on iOS, which I use, they added 120. Can you guys see that or no? Maybe. Yeah. They added 120 FPS to iPhones, right? For a long time, it was only 60, so make sure you go in there to your phone and check to see if you have a higher frame rate available on your mobile device. It was capped at 60 for the first 3 or 4 years I was playing this game. So that's gonna add just a dramatic amount of time, or I should say, subtract a dramatic amount of time. And this game is all about time, isn't it? Well, it's all about money. And then time, right? It takes a lot of your time, so who doesn't want faster runs? Make sure you go ahead and change your settings, guys. There you have it. Those are 5 more things that Plarium apparently doesn't really want you to know about. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. Ending the video the same way we started the video, sending some love, some positive vibes your way. Enjoy your faster dungeon runs, guys. And as always, take care, guys.